Hey! Today I'm going to be upgrading your note-taking. So much so that you might not even need to revise after watching this video. If you haven't seen my last video, where I show you how to make your notes so much neater and more aesthetic looking, then make sure you check that out. I'll link it in the description box if you can't find it. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do smart note-taking. Let's start with the Cornell method. To do this, what you first need to do is draw a line down not quite the middle of your page. It's basically a really wide margin. I'd say about here is probably good. This column is for all of your questions. Now you might think that's quite a hard thing to do while you're in the middle of a class or a lecture. If you feel like you really don't have time to write questions, then what you should do is take your notes in this column, and while you're taking your notes, think about what the questions could possibly be that you can add in later. This just adds another layer to your note-taking and means that you're going back and going over the content, so it's not a bad thing at all. Ideas of questions could be the formula for whatever formula you need. Now, one way that I adapt this to make it more realistic to do while I'm in lessons is I don't have so much of a set question and answer. I more just have the normal note-taking block of text of whatever's being covered in the lesson, and then I add a question that I can then test myself on the block of text. So it doesn't really need to be a really specific answer. It could just be something like, let's say, explain how conduction works. I'm not doing anything different to how I'd normally write in a lesson. I'm just writing how conduction works here and then adding in the question. This definitely doesn't work for every subject, but I personally find it really useful for the sciences in particular. Also maths, it can sometimes be great for. If I were you, the things that I would highlight are the keywords of the question, but not the whole question, because you already have a margin to define the questions. And then any important terms in the text of your notes. Now, when I say you don't need to revise, one of the great things is because instead of making flashcards, you can literally just test yourself from your notes now. You could say, oh, what do I need to know? Flip to the page, conduction, and then you can cover your notes and test yourself. But if you still want to keep on revising, then you can simply convert your questions into flashcards when you get home. The other thing that you do with the Cornell note-taking method is at the bottom of the page, you write down any key questions that you have that you don't understand yet. Or a way that I adapt this is I write a mini summary of the lesson. So this could just literally be bullet points, so you know to go back and revise conduction or convection or any key things that have been covered in the lesson. It could be a key definition of the main thing that you learn in the lesson. Just something so that when you flick back at the bottom of your page, you have a useful summary. Now, titles are a really under-optimised part of note-taking. Your title doesn't need to be aesthetic, but it can be aesthetic if you have time and if that's something that you want to do. But you need to think about the keywords that are in your title. It can be, you can just kind of want to copy exactly what's on the teacher's board, but that's not always the best title. I think the best way to have a title is to write it at the end, knowing what you've just studied, knowing what an accurate title to reflect and summarise that is, because your title should mean that when you flip through your notes, you see, this is what we've been studying, and this is the specific bit of information that I need to go back and revise. It shouldn't be vague at all. Now, not part of the Cornell note-taking method, but something very important that you need to be able to do is integrating images and diagrams into your main body of text. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, don't worry too much about the neatness of your diagram as long as it's understandable. I like to box out my diagram so I know how much space they're going to take up and then try and fit everything into the box. Just random shapes. And make sure that the important thing of the diagram is how you describe the diagram. I would aim to have at least one sentence that explains what the diagram is showing you. So you can go back and not just rely on a picture that doesn't make sense anymore. Text is the real explanation that you need to not forget. Now, images are a good addition to any body of text, no matter the subject. Try and make them related to the body of text with some slight quirkiness or something that makes you remember them. I love doing this on flashcards, but if you have space, do this on your page of notes. So say you're writing about, I don't know, history, a certain king, then draw a crown or something like that that helps you to remember. Your notes don't need to be serious, they need to be a helpful memory aid, and this is a science-backed method that helps you. The important thing that overall your notes should aim to do is feature some element of active recall. Now, active recall is just what flashcards use effectively. When you look at a flashcard, here's a flashcard for my example. When you look at a flashcard, it doesn't have the answer on the front. It has a prompt that helps you to remember. And there's the answer on the back in full form. This is kind of what the point of subheadings and kind of bold text is on your page of notes. It should be something that you can look at and can prompt your memory without telling you everything immediately. So if you look and you see the subheading and it's like key kings in, I don't know, 1930, of course, so many kings then the information in the body of text is what you're trying to remember, and this should give you some kind of prompt to help you. There's kind of more things that I want to say, but this video is already getting quite long, so I'm just going to leave it here. If you found this video at all helpful, then consider subscribing, liking, commenting what you liked, so that I know what to include if I do a part 3.